Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about a significant document in Philippine history, the 1987 Constitution. So, this Constitution, ratified on February 2, 1987, outlines the framework of our government and the rights of our citizenship. So, the 1987 Constitution is composed of 18 articles, covering topics such as national territory, Declaration of Principles, Bill of Rights, and the three branches of government. So, since Marge Mahusay was the first to report about the 1987 Constitution, and I'll be the one to continue the topic about the 1987 Constitution starting from the Article 10. So from the Article 10, which is local government, it is all about that how local governments like provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays are formed and governed. It talks about their powers, rights, and responsibilities. So this this article has 21 sections. So the first section is that territorial and political subdivisions are provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays. The Philippines is divided into local government units, which is LGUs. So this includes provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays, which have the right to manage their own affairs. Section 2 is all about the state shall ensure the accountability of local government units while promoting their autonomy. So, the national government must support local government in becoming stronger and more independent. So, this means that the national government should help local areas become capable of handling their own problems. Section 3 is Congress shall enact a local government code to provide for a more responsive system of decentralization. So, Congress will pass laws that define the powers and responsibilities of each local government units. So, it also decides how they will collect and use the money. Section 4 is the President of the Philippines shall exercise general supervision over local government units. So the President can supervise local governments to make sure they follow the law, but cannot control everything they do. Yeah, but because President, he can control, or he or she can control the what everything what everything of the communities will do, but he has the power to make sure that everyone will follow the law. Then section 5 is all about each local government unit shall have the power to create its own sources of revenue and to levy taxes, fees, and charges. So which means local governments can generate their own income such as from taxes, fees, and other charges. They can also own and manage resources. Section 6 is local government units shall have a just, sharp, and national taxes. So it means that local governments will receive a share of national taxes. This ensures that the national government gives them enough funds to operate. Section 7 is local government units shall have an equitable share in the proceeds of the utilization and development of national wealth. So, if natural resources are found in the area of a local government, they should receive a part of the income of these resources. This helps communities benefit from the resources they have. Section 8 is local government units may group themselves to pursue common goals for development. Local elected officials can only serve 3 consecutive terms in the same position. After that, they must take a break before running again. Section 9 is Congress may create a special metropolitan political subdivisions subject to the Constitution. So which means that Congress may create a special Metro Manila Development Authority to help manage and develop Metro Manila as a whole. So Section 10 is changes in local government units shall comply with criteria and approve through a plebiscite. So this means that any changes to the boundaries or structure of local government must be approved by the people through a referendum or vote. That because everyone can vote. That ages from 18 to above. Section 11, the term of office of elected local officials is 3 years. So all all elected official was consecutive are only 3 years. So 12. Highly urbanized cities are independent of the province. So independent, they can make their own. So local government should also work with province. So we're in 12 section. So local government should also work with non-governmental organizations like NGOs and local community groups to help solve local issues. Section 13 is local officials may form leagues to coordinate efforts and express collective views. 14. Local governments units shall maintain peace and order and promote the general welfare. 15. There shall be autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao and Cordilleras. So, it said that local governments can also combine or work together to address problems that affect more than one area, such as environmental issue or economic challenges. And also, the president can declare areas in need of special focus for development. These areas can be given extra help to improve. So, section 15 to 21 are so the 15 is there shall be autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao and the Cordillera. 16. Congress shall enact an organic act for each autonomous region. 18. 17. The organic act must be approved by a majority of votes in a plebiscite within the proposed area. 18. The autonomous region shall exercise powers over cultural, economic, social, and administrative matters. Local government units in the autonomous region shall continue to operate unless modified. 20. The autonomous region may create a regional government bodies for development. The preservation of peace and order shall be responsibility of the national government with assistance from the autonomous regions. So these sections from 15 to 21 are autonomous regions like in Muslim Mindanao, right? And the Cordilleras. So these regions have their own special rules because they have unique cultures. So people in these areas vote to create their own autonomous governments, but they still follow the constitution. The president also supervises to make sure they follow the law. The continuation from the Article 11, which is the accountability of public officers. Article 11 talks about how public officers are held accountable for their actions. It makes sure that public officials are honest and do not abuse their power. So from the section 1, public office is a public trust. Officials must serve with integrity, responsibility, and loyalty, so which means that public office is a public trust. This means officials must serve with honesty, integrity, and responsibility. They must act in the best interest of the people. Section 2 is the President, Vice President, Supreme Court Justices, or Constitutional Commission members, and the Ombudsman may be removed only by impeachment. So we heard about Vice President Sara impeachment. So impeachment is the removal of a person in highest level. So like top officials like the President, Vice President, judges, they will be removed from the office through impeachment. So impeachment happens if they commit serious crimes like corruptions. Yeah, most of the officials are known to be corrupted. So if they commit this type of crimes like corruption, it is a betrayal of a public trust. So as a people, it will be a big betrayal for us people when they corrupt that certain thing. So section 3 is the Sandigan Bayan shall have jurisdiction over criminal and civil cases involving graft and corruption. So the Office of Ombudsman is created to investigate corruption and others wrongdoings by public officials. The Ombudsman's work is independent to make sure no one abuses their power. So most of the public officials use their powers to corrupt. Yeah, mostly. And section 5 is there shall be an independent office of the Ombudsman. So the ombudsman has full independence and can investigate complaints without being influenced by anyone in power. Section 6 is the ombudsman and deputies are appointed by the president from a list by the judicial and bar council. So this means that the president appoints the ombudsman and their deputies, but they can only be appointed from a list prepared by a judicial and bar council. So, section 7 and 8, so the ombudsman must be a natural born citizen, at least 40 years old, with 10 years in law practice. The ombudsman serves for 7 years without reappointment. So, this section 7 and 8, the ombudsman and their deputies serve for 7 years and cannot be reappointed. So, this ensures they can work without fear of losing their job. Section 9 and 10, salaries of the ombudsman and deputies cannot be decreased during their term. The ombudsman investigates improper conduct of public officials. So it means that this section 9 to 10, the ombudsman can investigate government officials who might be involved in corruption. If they find something wrong, the ombudsman can file cases against them. So from the section 11 to 18 is the ombudsman has the same rank as a constitutional commission chairperson. 12, the ombudsman may use the help of other government agencies. The ombudsman investigates complaints, recommends actions, and initiates cases. Deputies assist the ombudsman. 15, the ombudsman also oversees public officials in the military and police. The ombudsman may be removed only through impeachment. This article covers all public officials and employees. Nothing in article limits the power of the court or other investigative bodies. So ombudsman is they will be removed through impeachment when they also commit corruption. So this section 11 to 18, the ombudsman has special powers to stop illegal activities, check documents, and punish government officials who are guilty of wrongdoings. So the Sandigan Bayan, a special court, handles cases related to corruption. So we all know about corruption. Next is we will be going to tackle Article 12, or the national economy and patrimony. So Article 12 is about the economy of the Philippines and the use of the country's natural resources. It explains how the government should manage the economy to benefit everyone, especially the Filipino people. So Section 1 of the Article 12, which is they had 22, this article has 22 sections. So first section is the state shall promote a just and dynamic economic order for all citizens. So this means that national economy must serve the Filipino people. The government should help local businesses and workers grow while also promoting fair trade. Second section is all natural resources belong to the state and may only be used by Filipino citizens or corporations that are at least 60% Filipino owned. So this section, the government owns natural resources like land, water, and minerals. So these resources are used by the government for the benefit of the people. Section 3 is agricultural lands are alienable only to Filipino citizens. So these lands that belong to the government are classified into categories like agricultural land, forest land, and mineral land. Only agricultural land can be owned by private individuals. So Section 4 is all about the state, Congress may establish a national economic and development authority. So this section, the government must protect small farmers and fishermen. It should help them access land and resources to support their work. Then Section 5 is the state protects Filipino enterprises from unfair foreign competition. So it means that private businesses should respect workers' right and give them fair wages and working conditions. So most of the businesses people must need to respect their workers by giving them fair salary or fair wages. And Section 6 is a central monetary authority shall maintain monetary stability. So Section 6, the government must have a central bank to control the country's money and credit. This keeps the economy stable. So without corruption, the government must control the country's money. And the section 7 and 8 is indigenous cultural communities have rights to ancestral lands. 8, the state supports labor and economic planning and development. So this section 7 and 8, only Filipino citizens or Filipino-owned companies can own land unless allowed by law. This ensures that the economy is controlled by the Filipino people. So section 9 to 14 is cooperation shall be encouraged by the state. Number 10, Filipinos shall be given preferences in economic activities. 11, public utilities should be operated only by Filipinos or corporations that are 60% Filipino-owned. 12, monopolies are regulated and prohibited if public interest requires. And 13, communication and information industries are priorities for development. And 14, the state promotes 14, the state promotes industrialization and full employment. So which means that this section 9 to 14, the government encourages cooperatives and small businesses. So foreign investments are allowed but with limits to protect Filipino businesses and workers. From the section 15 to 22, so 15, consumers' rights shall be protected. 16, marine wealth is reserved for the Filipino people. 17, grants for resource use may be altered if the public interest demands. 18, the state encourages the formation of independent organization for development. 19, franchises and rights are not exclusive and may be revoked. 20, the state fosters equitable distribution of opportunities and income. 21, foreign investment are allowed with limitations for national benefit. Congress shall implement policies promoting equitable distribution and growth. So which means that Section 15 to 22 is the government supports national securities industries, those that are very important to the country. It also works to make sure businesses compete fairly, protect consumers, and operate honestly. So we will be continued to Article 13, which is social justice and human rights. So Article 13 has 19 sections. So this Article 13 is all about social justice and human rights. It ensures that all Filipinos are treated fairly, especially the poor and vulnerable groups. So section 1 is the state shall value social justice in all aspects of development. So it means that the government must promote social justice, which means giving equal opportunities to everyone, especially the poor. It must ensure fair access to resources and opportunities for all, not just for the rich people and also for the poor people. Section 2 is the state shall protect workers' rights and promote a full employment. Section 3 also, workers have the right to form unions, bargain collectively, and strike. So, Section 2 and 3, small farmers and rural workers must be helped to own the land they work on. So, farmers can also be owned. I can also own land that they will be worked. So, land reform should ensure that the land is used for the benefit of the people, especially those who work on the land, like all the farmers. And Section 4, agrarian reform shall be promoted to provide land to landless farmers. So this means that Section 4, urban poor are also given priority. The government must help them with housing and protect them from forced evictions. So from Section 5 to 8, this section, the rights of farmers and landowners shall be respected and balanced. Rural development and land reform shall receive state priority. Urban poor shall have access to land and housing. And 8, the rights of the poor and marginalized must be recognized. So Section 5 to 8, workers have the right to form unions to have fair wages and to work in safe conditions. The government must protect their rights and ensure that they are treated fairly. So Section 9 to 11, no eviction without proper relocation of privileged residents. 10. Health services shall be available to all. The state shall give priority to health in national development. And 12. The state shall provide a comprehensive and adequate social security system. So it means that this section 9 to 11, the government should provide health services to all, especially the poor. It must also ensure that the people can access education and other basic services include food and housing. So section 12 and 13, the state shall provide a comprehensive and adequate social security system. And 13, working women shall be protected against discrimination. 12-13, so maternity leave and paternity leave are guaranteed for workers to support family life. The state also promotes the right of the youth and the elderly, so making sure their needs are taken care of. So if a woman got pregnant, they can use maternity leave to still be in a work that they need to support their family. And also, and the section from 14 to 18, so women's rights shall be promoted in all spheres of society. 15. The underprivileged and sick shall be given health care access. 16. Health personnel shall be well distributed across the country. 17. The Commission on Human Rights shall be established. 18. The Commission shall investigate violations of human rights. So it means that Commission on Human Rights is responsible for protecting the rights of every Filipino. It investigates human rights violations and helps those who are abused by government officials. And lastly, the Commission shall submit annual reports to Congress. So this means that Section 19, these human rights protections are important because they ensure that everyone is treated with respect and that the government helps the victims of any justice. So next article is Article 14. Education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports. So Article 14 promotes education, science, and culture. The government must make sure that all people have access to education, that science and technology are advanced, and that Filipino arts and culture are preserved. So this section has 19 sections. So number 1, the state shall protect and promote the right to education. So and also section 1 and 2, elementary and high school education shall be free in public schools. So I also have been educate in a public schools. So education is a right for all Filipinos. The government must ensure that basic education is free and accessible. Schools must also teach important values like patriotism, discipline, and good citizenship. Section 3 of Article 14, adult education and non-formal will be encouraged. So this say that Filipino is the national language, but the Constitution also follows the use of English as an official language. Regional languages are respected and encouraged in school. So Section 4 and 5 is academic freedom is guaranteed in the institution of higher learning. Education must still instill patriotism, values, and civic responsibility. So this means that this section 4 and 5, schools have academic freedom. This means teachers and students can freely discuss ideas and universities can offer courses and research that are not controlled by the government. Section 6 to 9 is the national language is Filipino. 7. Filipino and English shall be official languages, especially in the Philippines. 8. Regional languages shall serve as auxiliary languages. And 9. The development of Filipinos shall be promoted. So, Section 6 to 9, the government must support science and technology to help the country progress. It must create policies to improve these areas and encourage research and development. From the Section 10 to 13, it is all about Science and technology are essential for national progress. 11. Scientific and technical education shall be supported. And 12. Innovation and invention shall be encouraged. And 13. Science and technology shall receive budget priority. So, 10 to 13 is the government must also promote the arts and culture. Filipino must take the pride in their identity, traditions, and cultural heritage. Section 14 to 18 is all about that the state shall preserve and promote Filipino arts and culture. And 15, national cultural heritage shall be protected. 16, a sense of national identity shall be fostered. 17, artists and cultural workers shall be supported. And 18, literature and artistic creations shall be promoted. And 19, physical education and support shall be encouraged. So what does that mean? So section 14 to 18, you say that it's about sports. So section 14 to 18, sports must be developed for physical health and national pride. Programs must be created to train athletes and encourage people to be active and healthy. So from the Article 15, the family. So Article 15 recognizes the family as the foundation of society. It talks about the protecting and supporting the family. So, Article 15 has 4 sections. So, Section 1 is the state recognizes the Filipino family as the foundation of the nation. So, the family is considered the basic unit of society. The government must help families and ensure they are supported. Section 2 is marriage is an inevitable institution and shall be protected by the state. So, Section 2 of family is marriage is a sacred institution and the government must protect the rights of those who choose to marry. So, if we want to marry, we have the freedom. We need to be protected. And Section 3 is the state defends the rights of spouses, parents, children, and the elderly. So, the government must also protect the rights of parents to raise their children and make decisions that are in the best interest of their family. And last section of the family is the family has the duty to develop moral and civic virtues, which means that families must take care of their elderly members and ensure that they are lived with dignity and respect. Last is Article 16. So Article 16, it is a general provisions. So it has a 12 sections. So first section 1 and 2, the national flag, anthem, language, seal and symbol shall be defined by law. Civilian authority is supreme over the military. So Section 1 and 2 by the Article of 16, the national flag, anthem, and other symbols must be respected by all Filipinos. The government promotes patriotism and unity through the symbols. And Section 3 is women shall be eligible for military service. So not just the men who wants to be in a military service, because women can also be part of a military services. Like example, the Armed Forces of the Philippines or the AFP protects the people in the country from the threats. They are loyal to the Constitution and must be strong, professional, and non-partisan. Section 4 to 6 is number 4, the state may call citizens to render military or civil services. The 5, the armed forces shall be professional and non-partisan. And 6, the national police force shall be civilian in character. So, police, they can also be in a civilian form to manage the society. So Section 46, every Filipino can be required to serve in the military, but the government must prioritize peace over conflict. So the goal is to maintain national security while promoting peace and cooperation. So Section 7 to 9 is equal access to public office is guaranteed. 8, salaries of constitutional officers shall not be decreased during their term. And 9, the state shall adopt a policy of full public disclosure of transaction. So this Section 79, the government must have a public information system. It must also promote freedom of speech and communication to ensure the public is informed. And lastly, Section 10 to 12 is ownership and management of mass media is limited to Filipino citizens. 11. Advertising industry must be majority Filipino owned. And 12. Congress may create other laws to implement this provision. So this section, the government must take care of veterans, provide energy sources, and make sure that all public services are efficient and accountable. Honesty and transparency in public service are required. Or the Article 17 amendments or revision. So this article has four sections. So Article 17 talks about how the Constitution can be changed or updated in the future. Section 1 is amendment be proposed by Congress, Constitutional Convention, or People's Initiative. So this talk about changes to the Constitution can be proposed by Congress, a constitutional convention, or through a people's initiative. Section 2 and 3, any change must be ratified by a majority in a national plebiscite. And 3, Congress may call a constitutional convention by two-thirds vote. So it means that Congress or a convention must follow specific rules to propose changes. Once proposed, these changes must be approved by the people through a national referendum. And last not the least, a people's initiative must have 12% of registered voters, including 3% from each district. So it means any change to the constitution must be approved by the people through a vote. So this gives the people the final say in how the country is governed. So last article of 1987 Philippine Constitution is transitory provision. So Article 18 explains how the Philippines will transition from 1973 Constitution to the 1987 Constitution. It helps the country adjust to the new rules. So Section 1 to 4, all existing laws stay in effect unless they go against the new constitution. Second, presidential decrees and executive orders from the past remain valid unless changed. 3 section, the president keeps making laws until new Congress is organized. And 4, all government officials stay in their post unless removed legally. So section 1 to 4 is all about existing laws and government positions stay the same unless a new law is passed or replace them. The term of current officials will continue until their position are reorganized. Section 5 to 7. Additionally, this Article 18 has 27 sections. So section 5 to 7 is 5. President Aquino and Vice President Laurel will serve until June 30, 1992. 6. Local election must be held within 20 months from the ratification of this constitution. 7. The President may appoint judges following the new rules until the Judicial and Bar Council is formed. So, Section 5 to 7, the President and Vice President will serve until June 30, 1982. Judges can be appointed even before Congress is fully formed. Section 18 to 14 is 8 is the old courts continue operating until the new court system is established. Current government workers keep their jobs unless removed by the law. Government salaries stay the same until Congress changes them. And 11, the existing civil service rules remain until new ones are made. And 13 is pending court cases will continue under this constitution. And last, government property remains with the state unless transferred legally. So this section, some officials may need to declare their wealth. The first Congress will meet in May 1987 and the national election will happen in 1992. Section 15 to 17 is this section 15, current election rules stay in use until Congress makes a new ones. 16, the President will set up an ombudsman office until Congress creates the official one. 16, the President will set up an ombudsman office until Congress creates the official one. 17, all officials must declare their assets within 30 days after ratification. So 15 to 17, new laws will be passed to organize and support autonomous regions like Muslim Mindanao and the Cordillera. Section 18 to 22. 18. The government must form autonomous regions in and Muslim Mindanao and the Cordilleras within 18 months. 19. If there's confusion about the Constitution, the Supreme Court decides. 20. The first congressional elections are set for May 1987. And 21. The regular elections for President and Vice President will be in May 1992. 22. Congress will first decide the number of judges for each court. So, this section from 18 to 22, new regional governments will be set up to manage local needs. These changes are designed to help economic development and improve the life of local people. So, section 23 to 27 is 23. New economic and education policies start even before new laws are passed. 24. Military promotion must be passed on merit, not favoritism. 25. After 1991, foreign military bases can stay only if approved by a treaty and possibly a public vote. 26. The Commission on Human Rights begin its work immediately. And last, the Constitution takes effect after it's approved in a public vote. So it means the section 23 to 27, the transition should be smooth and the government must ensure that all the new rules are clear. The changes must be fair and efficient. So in summary, the articles to my report from Articles 10 to 18 of 1987 Philippine Constitution show how our government works at every level from local governments to the whole country. So these articles make sure that power is shared properly and rights of the people are protected and the government is honest and fair. So it explains how local government units are formed and given power, how public officials should behave, how develop our economy, protect human rights, promote education and culture, and support families and national symbol. So as citizens, we must understand these rights and responsibilities so we can take part in building a better nation for everyone. And I thank you.